Hello, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a national nucleus roof to go on a nucleus hive. So in your pack you will have 2 outside walls, you will have 2 ventilated end walls, in total 8 lats, 4 short and 4 long, and you will also have your roof board, again with vents, 1 tin, and last but not least the all important pack of nails, and in this packet you will have some roof gauze as well. This is to stop the bees using the ventilation as an escape. So we start with the long walls. These will interlock very nicely. They might need a little bit of persuasion. Just very simply push these together. They only fit one way, so the vents will always be at the top. Obviously you need to make sure the vents are on the outside. See what I mean? You can't really go wrong with these. A little bit of creaking going on. And when we hammer this in, it will pinch together quite nicely. I'm not using one of the lats, this is actually an offcut. For this you take your 1.5 inch lost head nails, which are in your pack. So we're going to mark 2 together for the top 2 tongues, and then it's miss 1, do 1, miss 1, do 1. It looks just nice because when that's covered up it just looks like they're alternated, so it's a nice patterned way of doing it. So we'll just get knocking some nails in. It's always wise just to make sure that these nails go in. Sometimes if they start to pull away I just push them together. So remember, as I said, it's 2 together, and then you miss 1 to turn, and then the bottom one is last. I sometimes angle the bottom one up just a little bit, just purely because it steers it away from the edge and stops it from maybe splitting. Another good trick, some people blunt the end of the nails, bit of metal, tap the point down, that can prevent splitting as well. So the next thing to do is just punch these in. And then we just repeat the process on the other side. So the next thing to do is to do your sides, and how we do this is we do 1, we miss 1, then we do 2 together this time, and again we miss 1 and then do the top one. I'll just tap these in, see where we're heading with this. So there's 4 nails in total per, and that is quite simply where we put them. So once you've got those 3 sides done, what I'm going to do is just make sure it's nice and square. You can either do this from measuring corner to corner, but I prefer the easy option of just a square. That is absolutely bang on. And we do exactly the same thing on this side now. You may notice I'm actually putting these in at an angle. It's a little process called dovetail nailing. It's ideal for making sure things don't pull out because you've got a pin sort of movement. So the next phase is to put the lats on. So this is the top, as you can see with the vents. Long lat goes there, and what I do is, just to make sure it's a nice tight fit, I push that lat up to the short one, which is there. Obviously keeping it nice and level with the top of the roof. Take your inch round head nails and that's the space that I'm working with. Just nice and simply, 4 of these in a line. Now we don't punch these in on the inside, but we do on the outside. It's just a case of figuring out a nice sort of spacing. I'm going to glue this one just along here, and again, rough alignment, and push it up to the opposing lat on your left, my right. I'm just going to tap this one in at that end, and then the 2 in the middle. With a little bit of luck, this one will just slide out. And we do the same all around. Now the end one is a little bit trickier because obviously you've got the vent just about here. So the end lets go there, like so. So the air vent is there. So what I tend to do is one there, and then one into the corners as well. So there should be 4 nails on each let, whether it's end or side. As you can see, they naturally fit now. Last thing I want to do is to put one through the vent. It's up to you whether you glue them or not. I'm gluing them because obviously it makes it a lot stronger. But I would certainly advise gluing the bottom one, purely because it's got nothing to push against. This has got the roof board to push against. So that's your lats nailed in place from the inside, and all we do now is we do the same on the outside as well. So for this next part we need a table corner, and here we have, as if by magic, a table corner. So we take the inch round head nails, the same ones we've been using for the lats, and we just pop these on the outside, not too far down, 4 nails in. Now if you're going to sand or paint the roof, would strongly recommend punching these in. And we do the same again on the other side and the other end. So the next thing to do is to put the lower lat on. You'll notice I've laid the small lat on one side. I'm just going to score that and mark it. The reason I've done that is because that tells me then that that's the end that the narrow end butts up to. So I'm just going to do the same on this side as well. In these, there's no vent to worry about this time. First thing to do is to set your marking gauge to 1 inch and 5/8 or 41.5 to 42 millimeters, and it's the same principle. Put the lat and then push that up to it, whichever way is easiest for you to do this. Some people just use a ruler and mark it. So basically that's what we're going to end up looking like. I'll just remove that and put some glue on it. It is very important that you do glue this lat because there's no nails from the outside. This is all just internal nails, so this one is very important to glue. Push that up to it. This is why I've put the nails in first. I can now remove that. So again, some glue on this one. You can never use enough glue on this. It's easier to wipe off than it is to try and add more. This one might need a little bit of persuasion. One more long lat. So there you go. One score line is there. So final lat. Put some glue up there. There we go. So that's now nice and level. So we're next going to take the 2 square gauzes that we've got in the packs, and you'll need your drawing pins as well, which are also supplied in the pack. Position this just a little bit back from the edge and put the 4 drawing pins, 1 in each corner. Very simple. As this prevents the bees from using this as an escape. Once you've done that, you should have your roof board looking like that. I'm actually going to just glue this. Some people might not find it necessary because the tin does actually hold it on. As you can see, your vents will nicely marry up. And then you take your 1.5 inch lost heads. It's literally four nails along each side, obviously missing the vent on the ends. And the very last phase is to pop the tin on. So we're coming to put the nails in the tin now. Now one end of the lat is supported by the other and one end is not supported. So I'm just going to jam a piece of wood into here. Under the end, could be any scrap of wood. I'm going to use a spike and roughly in the middle, about 1.5 inches from the edge, and then 2. So the nails that you've been using to pop the other sides and the lats in, we're using those nails again. And we put these into the hole, to the metal, and push the metal down so it's nice and tight. So that's one side down. Sometimes angling the nails helps to pull the metal as well. And then we've just got the 2 ends to do. So again, so there we have the sequence, obviously missing the air vent. One more to go. So that is your National Nucleus HIve Roof completed. So when it comes to assembling your National Nucleus Hive, it's very straightforward and it's very easy to do. You've got your floor and you take your brood body or brood box and place it onto the floor like so. Entrance block in the front. Next you have your frames that go inside the brood box, and then once you've put your frames in, you have your nucleus crown board, and finally you take your roof, and your roof just quite simply sits atop your hive, and that is your completed assembled nucleus hive.